Hey guys, this is Amy. Normally, I don't make these kinds of videos because there's already a lot of great content creators who go over the current state of ESO, the upcoming patch notes, and the new updates, but I decided to make a video regarding some of the issues I have with ESO and the community. I hope people don't take this the wrong way, and I believe there are a lot of great people in the community, but there are some things I disagree with. But before we start on anything, I would like to start out by talking about the issues I have with the game. ESO is a fantastic game, and there's no other games like it when it works. Problem is, it doesn't for the most of the times. What blows my mind is that Harrowstorm was supposed to be the patch that fixes performance, and yet here we are in this shithole. You can't bar swap, you can't cast abilities, you can't break free with full stamina, you get desynced, and the list goes on and on. Honestly, I'd rather have some FPS issues like I did in the previous patch than to deal with all this bullshit, and a part of me wishes that ZeniMax didn't touch anything and stuck to shitting out more crown crates. When you weigh out the goods and the bads outweigh the goods so much, you can't even see what was good about any of this shit. Sure, we have better frames now, but now we get to watch our tunes not be able to break free in full 60 FPS while we're molding. I know some of you might think, stop bitching, and if the game's that frustrating to you, why even play it? Honestly, that same thought process has been crossing my mind for some time now. I find myself playing this game less and less, but what sucks the most about it is that I've never come to that point where the game was getting stale because I'm the one getting bored of the game. Every video game gets old after you play for a long time, and it's human nature to get bored of something after you're doing it for a long extended period of time. But with ESO, I'm getting sick of it more so than getting bored of it. The developers are aware that there's a skill gap between the new players and the veterans, and honestly, it's natural. People have been playing this game for years, and they have that much more experience and practice. In what world do you expect to become a fucking prodigy in day one? In life, in video games, you name it. For the majority, that's not how it works. You need to invest the time and the effort to become good at something. The issue is, though, that ESO is pretty complex and is difficult for new players to figure out on their own. Unless they get lucky and find someone who is willing to guide them through and teach them about the game, they're not going to understand it. It makes sense why the new players feel so frustrated when they go into PvP and just get rolled over. No one likes losing, but that doesn't mean that the developers should limit what the veterans can do so that everyone feels like a winner. Now, you're taking away the time and effort invested by the veterans to please the new player base. How is that fair? From a business perspective, I get that you want more new players to come in. I understand it 100%. It's a problem when the new players leave because it's not fun for them to lose all the time. But lowering the skill gap by changing the fundamental mechanics of the game is not the way to go about it. Instead, there should be a better tutorial that is set up for new players so that they understand the mechanics better, as opposed to just deleting or altering a mechanic. Trust me, adding a cast time to things isn't going to make the new players any better than they are. It's up to them to invest the time and effort to become better, and if you provide the right content for these people, the ones that are dedicated will figure it out. And for the ones that don't, I'm sorry, but if the developers did everything they can to help the new players understand the game, and yet they want to improve without putting in the time and effort, tough shit. You don't deserve to be good at this game. Every time ZeniMax fucks with the core mechanic, everyone feels the performance getting worse and worse. And the fact that this all stems from the idea of them trying to please everyone is understandable, but at the same time, there's so many other ways of achieving this that whenever performance does take a toll, it feels so unnecessary and uncalled for. I know I briefly talked about how we have a great community, but there are some things I don't agree with. I've noticed that a lot of people turn to the class reps and talk a bunch of shit blaming them for the state of the game. I hate to say it, but those guys are just scapegoats for ZeniMax. As someone who has friends who are in the stream team and who are class reps, I know that these guys get hit with bullshit just like we do at the last minute. And the developers don't take criticisms well. They don't give a shit about what these guys have to say. They exist for the sake of pleasing the community to make it seem like they have representatives that give them feedback. Do you really think the reps are that dumb to not say anything about how stupid some of the things Cinemax comes up with? No. They want the game to be good just like you and me, but their opinions? They don't matter. A lot of class reps don't even play the game anymore because they're frustrated with all this bullshit. They don't agree with how ZeniMax tries to balance everything by punching in numbers in their calculators, but they can't do anything about it. In a game that's so organic and that has so many different variables, you can't just punch in numbers to balance things. You need to actually play the game and test shit out. And if you don't, well, at least take some feedback who did you a favor by testing shit for themselves. I went on a bit of a rant here because I'm disappointed at the direction the game's taken. The fact of the matter is, I love this game, and it sucks to watch it get ruined. I hate seeing the friends I've made quit because of the state of the game. I've said this for years, but ESO is a game with so much potential, but at this rate, ESO will only be remembered as a game that had so much potential. Thanks for hearing me rant. I'm out.